Hello students, today we are going to see history chapter number 1, sources of history. So what do you understand from the title sources of history? Sources of history means the things which have happened in history, and from where we can get the knowledge of history means the source. For example, sources of water. What are the sources of water? Rain, lake, these all are sources of water. So same, sources of history means from where we get the knowledge of history. So, students, history is divided into three parts. First one is ancient history, medieval Indian history, and modern Indian history. Ancient history, we have studied ancient history last year. This year, we are going to study the medieval period of history. The period from the 19th century till the end of 18th century is considered to be a medieval period of Indian history. So in this lesson we are going to study sources of medieval history. So students, what means history? Do you know what is definition of history? History gives us chronological, scientific and systematic account of past event. Chronological means sequentially dates. In history we can and we know what are the dates of the things happen in the past events, what at what dates the things have happened, means it everything is in sequence, everything has something scientific meaning, and everything is in a system. So the history gives us chronological, scientific and systematic account of past. So, students, four factors are very important from the point of view of history. So, from the point of view of history, these uh, four factors are very important. First one is individuals, society, place, and time. So, in history, individual is important, society is important, the place, and also the time. And now the main part is sources of history. So in history there are three types of sources. First one is material source, written source, and oral source. So let us classify these sources in, so let us see these sources. First we are going to see material source. Before that I want to tell you something, that is we have to consider many factors related to the historical event that we want to study. It is necessary to support our study with historical sources. These sources have to be verified. We have to see whether they are authentic. It is necessary to use these sources judiciously and only after a critical analysis. So whatever sources we are having, we have to take its analysis, we have to verify whether that is proper, or before using any source we have to take permission. Okay, now let's see material source. What is material source? So material source means uh, the material means which the things which are there, the for example forts, memorials, buildings, caves, inscriptions, coins, copper plates, means all the material things. So that is known as the material sources. Forts have an important place among these material sources. Some major types of forts are hill forts, forest forts, sea forts, and forts on the plains. Monuments include, now see what is forts. First of all, we will see what is forts. So in forts, we have seen many of the forts. For example, so these are some of the forts. This first picture we can see, it's like it's Raigad. Then the second one is there is a red fort also. Okay, the first two pictures are of Raigad, and then it is the down to Raigad it is Virgada. So this all are the types of forts. So forts are very important. We all know forts are built by our Rajas and Maharajas. For example, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who have won many of the forts or who have built up many of the forts. So forts are high up in the hill, or they are in the forest, or they are in the sea coast, or they are in the or they are on the plains. So do you know one of the fort which is in between the ocean. For example, Jaljeera. So students search about Jaljeera, how it is. It is in the middle of the ocean. Okay. Now, what is monuments? So monuments or memorials means what? It includes samadhis, graves, and all. So it what it includes? Samadhis, we know what is samadhi. Okay. The next one is buildings include palace, ministerials, mansions, queen's quarter, Rani Vasa, and also houses of common people. So in buildings, what is included? Queen's quarter means Rani Vasa means where the queen used to live or where the queen used to stay, or the palaces, you know what are the palace? Queen's or king's palace is known as palaces. It's a big building, it's a very luxurious building, it's known as palaces. So all provide insight about that period, or the common people's house, or what the common people's house means whatever the people were there, how were they living, how were the house. So we all know in the early age the houses were of caves, then afterwards the houses became of huts, then nowadays we are using cements, bricks for our house. So at that time, what were the houses, what were the types of houses that are also included in the material source. Okay, so looking at them, we came to know about the development of architecture, the economic condition, the quality of art style of the building construction, and people's standard of living in that particular period. So, by seeing means by observing these things which things are forts, common people's house, and everything. By observing these all things, we come to know that how the people were living at that time, how was architecture of that time, how were they living. So it's we understand all this by the source of history. So what means, it's clear that the source of history means all the things which we can understand or which we can study about history is by using the material source. So by using the material source, we can understand their architecture, their economic condition, their quality of art, their style of building construction, and the people's standard of living. Okay. Now the coins. So what are the coins? Now nowadays we are using notes, coins for as a money. So in the early age, these were the types of coins they were using. Coins were made by a different rulers using metals like gold, silver, copper are important sources of history. From these coins we learn about the ruler, their period, governance, religious ideas, personal details, etc. Similarly, we also learn about the financial transactions and economic conditions prevailing at the time. We also see how far metallurgy had advanced in that period. From the images of Ram and Sita on the coins of Emperor Akbar or Shiva Parvati on the coins of Hyder Ali, we see the religious coordination of those days. The Peshwas used the Arabic or Persian language on their coin. This throws light on the use of language in that period. So, students, in that period, these were the coins, and on that coins they used many of the languages, many of the pictures of any god, goddess. So, because of that, we can understand their religious view that they are using the goddess picture on the coins. So by this we can understand the religious view. And also the coins were made up of gold, silver, and copper. So because by this we can understand the governance and their financial and economical conditions also. And now the next one is inscriptions. So an inscription is an carving on a stone or a wall. For example, the inscription found in the Bridvashvara temple premises in Tanjavur. Many inscriptions of the period of a Chaukulya, Rakshatrakuta, Chola and Yadav kings have been found. An inscription is considered to be a very important and reliable source of history. It helps us to understand features like language, script, social life of a period. Inscription carved on sheets of copper are known as copper plates. Royal edicts, verdicts, etc. are inscribed on a copper plates. So inscriptions means what is inscription means carving on a stones, mean they used to carve, mean they used to write something on the stone. For example, do you know about Ashoka? What does he used to do? He used to carve his uh, he used to carve his what we can say, his rules, or he used to carve his thinkings or thoughts on the walls of his kingdom, so that everyone can read his rules. The next one is Gautam Buddha also used to carve his rules, so that everyone should understand what are their rules and they can read. And because of these inscriptions we also can understand, because of this source of inscription we can also understand the important, we can also understand their language, their script, their social life, their rules, how were they living at that time. All these things we can understand by inscriptions. Okay, did you understand? So what were the, and the inscriptions which were carved on copper sheets were known as copper plates. Okay, so now see what we have learned. We have learned about inscriptions. First of all, inscriptions means what? Carving or writing something on the walls or coppers, they are known as inscriptions. Next one was coin. Coin means they are, we can understand their economical and financial condition. Coins were of three types: gold, silver and copper. And next, and the first one was fort. Fort was their, how was their living style, their how was their life. So did you understand all these three things about material source? So next source is written source. So we'll see this written source in the next video. Thank you.